Alright, now that we've loosened the lower alternator bolt, we're going to be loosening the 4 bolts on the water pump pulley. And we're going to leave the alternator still tight. We're not going to loosen the upper bolt yet because we're going to use the tension of the belt on that pulley to allow us to remove the bolts that are holding the pulley in place. And we're going to take the pulley off with the belt, as that'll give us more access to all of the bolts that are holding the water pump to the engine. Alright, we'll be back in a few. Okay, now, removing the bolts from the water pump pulley in the car, the way I choose to do it, because I think it just makes life a little easier, can be a little tough. Normally I'd leave the belt on so I could provide enough tension to hold the pulley while I break them loose. But here, as you can see, the pulley's continuing to move as I try to loosen it. So there's not enough tension on the belt. What I like to do in this case, if you run into this type of situation, and I know the lighting's a little weird, it's a weird setting on the camera, is I use a pry bar inserted between the 2 lower bolts, like that, so that as you're turning on the wrench, you're using these two to prevent the pulley from moving. That allows you to crack the bolts loose that you're trying to get to. I think it's let's see, you can see right here, you see the 2 lower bolts just above the 2 lower bolts, and that's going to be what's going to jam the pulley so that it doesn't rotate. Alright, let me break the rest of these loose and we'll be back. Now that we've loosened the upper bolt on the alternator, all we have to do is pivot the alternator towards the front of the car, and that will loosen the belt. Then we remove the bolts from the water pump pulley and remove the pulley, which we have to remove anyway because the new water pump doesn't have a pulley in it. So that's our next step.